Welcome.
Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a video. Hi. I have been kind of going, not necessarily through a lot, but I've been going through some things. So, after I finished my online courses to basically be certified as a proofreader slash copy editor, I went online to use recruiting sites such as Upwork and others that were recommended to me by the courses itself, and I got scammed not once but twice. The first time, they sent me a check via email, and I was dumb enough to submit it in text like deposit. And currently, right now, they haven't taken anything yet. I don't even have the money for them to take. So it's like, right off my shoulders and all that. I already contacted my bank. I'm in communication with my bank. I have to check in with them this Saturday actually to see. But I've been on top of it this entire time. And then the second one is when I caught on to the whole bullshit and everything. So I was literally I literally hit a wall. And this wall literally like discouraged me from basically doing anything and anything that I wanted to do for a bit. And ironically, my DoorDash app was like acting out, so I couldn't work the entire week. So I was just like pissed the entire time because of the fact that so many things were happening around that time. And I can go on the astrological and whole moon thing and everything with the spirituality that I follow, but I'm not going to. I did take responsibility for what happened, and it was a lesson that I learned and not going to make the same mistakes again. But when I was spending some time with myself and thinking about what exactly I want to do, I kept kind of like going back to what I was originally doing when I first moved out here, and that was writing and blogging. And that was something that I had a lot of fun with, but I never really took it serious because I always felt like no one really cares what I have to say. And I know that some of my family members had found it because some of them don't talk to me because of what I was writing. And I can understand that it doesn't put them in the right light. But what they need to understand is that that's exactly how I felt the entire time when I wrote that. And I don't regret writing what I wrote, to be honest. And I could be just sitting here like overthinking it, thinking that they saw it or whatever, but that's hearsay. But I spent, I would say, since Friday. Okay, I recently moved my stuff around, by the way. I spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday just reconstructing everything and redoing my whole morning routine and nightly routine, where when I used to wake up in the morning, I used to wake up like close to like 10:30 in the morning, so I literally wasted half of the day. And I basically would just drink coffee, eat, like either skip breakfast or eat a very small breakfast and then run out to go do the DoorDash thing for a bit. And I wasn't really doing it like full time. I was just doing it to like either A, I would set myself a goal, or B, just work a certain amount of hours and then just go home, do my daily apartment stuff around, and then go right into my room and just take a nap. And that was it. And I knew that wasn't healthy at all for me because, I mean, I'm very active. I've always been active. I always do stuff, and I'm never really cooped up in my house. And people assume that I'm like a people person. I like, not people person, but like I'm a homebody. Like I just like staying home, and that's not really true. I don't have the funds to go out. So I was doing DoorDash to just have some form of income to pay a lot of my like expenses that I had, and I didn't like it all. I had a lot of complaints about working with DoorDash. Now, ordering and using DoorDash, like the app itself for ordering food, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. But working for them, I had the biggest issue with them like the entire time. So I like going back and like repeating myself. So Saturday, Sunday, I just really heavily reflected on everything. The more I thought about it, the more I was just kind of like, okay, what is it that I want to do? Like, what is it that I truly want to do? Because a lot of the stuff that I was doing has always been what other people expect me to do. And these are like family, friends, exes, they all expected me to be a certain way, act a certain way, you know, be considered like the perfect daughter or the perfect girlfriend or the perfect friend. And in my vocabulary, like perfect or perfection is just non-existent, because like what can be perfect in my eyes can be imperfect in yours and vice versa. And as I was sitting there and I meditated a lot, the night that everything for me, like, and I'm kind of like jumping around, sorry about that. When everything fell apart on Thursday, okay, after it happened, after I caught it, I spoke to like two of my closest friends, and they gave me some advice that I listened to and everything. And they were saying that, oh, I have issues of working with other people. And it's not that I have issues with working with other people, I have issues with people who are shitty. I have issues with people that take advantage of my kindness. I have issues with people who lie to me. I have issues with people who would sit there and say that we're good friends, but then lie about it soon after and act like, oh no, like we were never good friends. I had one individual that I haven't really spoken about in a while. I do not want to like even provoke her name, because I'm not going to hear the end of it if I say anything, but she basically was like literally dragging me down. And I was the type of person that I didn't want people to not like me. And as years went on and I started caring less and less, like I got to the point where a lot of the people that I thought were my good friends thought that they had my better interest in a lot of stuff. I could see that they never did. And I went on a deleting spree on Friday. Thursday going back, after I got off the phone, like I was messaging my friend Michelle, and I was telling her, I'm really happy that, thank you for talking to me, blah 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 blah. And the realization as to why I got fired just smacked me so hard that day that I just burst into tears and started crying. Like, and it was like a weird combination too. It was like laughing but also crying, because I finally realized that, fuck, it's almost been 2 years and I had no idea why I got fired in the first place. The only reason why I thought I got fired was because I spoke the truth, and that was what I was going for 2 years. And when I finally realized that for two reasons why I got fired, was I was, one, defending all the wrong people. I was doing stuff for them instead of for myself. I was losing my sense of identity the entire time I was working there. And then two, I was asking for a pay raise because I started to see my self-value. I started seeing my self-worth. And I was one of the employees there that was underpaid and overworked and underappreciated. I shared a story on one of my lives after my birthday, and this was literally like, I guess this is what really unlocked the whole, like, these people do not care about me at all ideas. And like I was just lying to myself saying, no, 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 these people do really care about me. Why won't they care about me? I do so much for them. And that was my problem, is that I did so much for people who did not have my best interests. So I cried, and I was just so like relieved that I was able to recognize that those were my actual reasons why I got fired. So on Sunday, so this is gonna be a little jumpy. So on Sunday, I took off for a bit to go to Walmart to pick up some stuff. I was still kind of like reflecting, and I started having like these vivid dreams of like, what is it that I want to do? Like a lot of tarot readers that I follow, like Baba Jolie tarot, I follow her, and a lot of the stuff that she says is very like, sometimes it's on point, sometimes I've already done it already, and then other times it's not really on point. Sometimes it happens a little later on down the road. Like, I just kept thinking about what she said, and that was, you have to listen to your gut. And when I was thinking about what happened Wednesday to Thursday with the whole scammers and all that, I was just sitting there and I was thinking like, fuck, my stomach was screaming at me, and it felt like one of my guides was just flat out telling me like, stupid, this is a fucking scam. Like, why are you even acknowledging these people? I understand that, yes, you are very proud of what you've done. You are very proud that you started doing something that's for you, not for so and so. This is for you because you were talking about starting up a blog again. You were talking about doing stuff for yourself. Why are you once again straying off and thinking about working for other people that are promising you all these different things, and then for a fact they're not going to deliver? So I sat there and I was just kind of like, nah, I mean, it's $25 an hour. That's not that bad. When I got the second offer, it was 50. So I was like, dude, that's 2 times more than what it was. And when I realized it was all a scam because of like the wording, it was just like, okay, you know what? I should have listened to my stomach this entire time. I should have listened to my gut instead of my mind and my heart. And she just kept pointing out that you're at this fork in the road. And for the 3 days after watching that video, I was stuck at a fork in the road for 3 days. I still feel like I am. I'm feeling like I'm starting to understand as to what I want to do. And I have more of an understanding since I changed my routine of waking up early at 7:30. I'm trying to like bring it up to 7 little by little, but I still have moments of waking up early in the morning and still kind of like under this panic umbrella or this panic veil. So Sunday, like I said, took off, went to Walmart, came home, got a notification that DoorDash is like, hey, we're open for availability. Do you want to dash for a little bit? So I was like, sure. So I basically put the groceries over the wall because I'm on the first floor. So my balcony is right there in the parking lot. So I can just literally like jump over and that's it. I'm right there. Put the stuff over and just took off. So it gave me an opportunity to really think about what is it that I want. And now going back and then repeating myself a little bit, I was always like told I have to have like a practical job. I have to do something that's practical that will make me money. And sure, money's great and this and that. Like you get to buy stuff and you get to hang out with people, you get to travel and all that good stuff. But when it comes to things that I wanted to do, and I wrote this out on my Instagram and everything, I wanted to do stuff within visual and performing arts. I got my degree in culinary arts, and I used it for about 6 years, 6, 7 years. I used it, and I loved it. But the thing is that I had an issue where I saw the true colors of how people are, and it wasn't everybody, it was just one individual that just ruined that experience for me, where there was promises that were broken. There were basically verbal and mental abuse from somebody that I looked up to as I guess like as a role model who came from basically not having a degree and working herself up to basically being a lead chef for the pastry department. And guys basically just being warned and just not listening to those warnings and not listening to like, hey, I think you should get out. And it was just like, I don't blame them, everybody. I just don't, and I don't blame her completely. I blame myself for not seeing the telltale signs of red flags. But so as I'm in the car and I'm driving around, I thought to myself, I go, well, I had that dream this morning and it was just heavily revolving around things that I'm already doing, and that is content creating. And that lately I have been thinking of doing like kind of like get ready with me, or kind of like a day-to-day blog style kind of thing, like what I'm doing right now on my phone. Very simple, straight to the point. Just put it up to YouTube and that's it. And I was just like thinking to myself, I go, would people watch that? I mean, like, I'm not that much of an interesting person. I mean, I've done stuff when I was younger. I've cosplayed in my 20s. I've moved across country like 3 times. I've gone to culinary school. I live like 30, 45, maybe an hour away from LA. Not really an hour, but I'm thinking of train wise. But I do interesting stuff, but I just like, I feel like every single time I think of what I do is dissatisfying, or I don't find myself as an interesting person. So I just kind of sit there and be like, okay, well, cool, whatever, you know, let's just carry on. But as I thought more and more in the car, I was just like, the one issue that I'm having with myself is that I self sabotage myself every single time. That I still have this mentality of a people pleaser, that I want to please every single person. And I want every single person that I make friends with or I meet be happy with what I do. An office job, yeah, that's like for everyone, that I applaud people that can work a 9 to 5. I really do. Like, congratulations, you work a 9 to 5. And something you do, awesome, do what makes you happy. But the thing is that when I was in office jobs, and I never was happy. The one time I was when I was in Florida, and I was working at this restaurant called Moontime, and I loved it. I loved the fact that I was like overlooking 5 restaurants, and I liked it a lot, and it was something that was different every day. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, do I really want to keep doing this? Like, do I really want to keep working a business? Because that's everything that my family does. And it was just like, once again, I was putting on a facade just to please my family, just to please everyone in my family, because all of them work within insurance, sales, and basically the business aspect of life. Some of them are teachers, some of them have their degrees in other fields that they don't even pursue anymore. And the more I was thinking about this, the more I was just like, not once, whenever I was in college, I ever been happy. I was never happy when I was in Fullerton College. I wasn't happy when I went to DeVry. I was ecstatic when I went to the Cordon Bleu, and that was the first time in a long time that I was really genuinely invested in something. When I was taking these online courses, I was heavily invested. What I kept saying to everyone is like, oh, it's supposed to take me about, like 7 weeks to finish. I finished it in a week and 2 days because I was heavily invested in what I was doing. And I sat there and I go, I want that happiness again. I want to do something that will make me happy for once. That, it could seem like, oh, I'm going to struggle and I'm not going to get anywhere. But if I can come up with a game plan, it'll make things easier. And I thought about it more and more, and I thought about content creating. And I have been doing that, but it was just, I was taking it as, oh, I'm not going to take it serious. I'm just going to, do it, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to really take this content creator or whatever it is as a serious title. Like, I'm just going to do it just to do it. Because, like, I mean, like, I'm at this point of my list of followers or subscribers on YouTube, and I'm just kind of like, but I'm also thinking to myself, I go, yeah, the reason why you're there is because you're not putting your all to it. You're not doing what you want to do. You love the writing, so why can't you do the same for your YouTube channel? Why can't you give the same love and appreciation for your YouTube channel? Because as much as you want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I can't wait, I want to get 1,000 subscribers so I can start making money, blah 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 blah, you tell people like, yeah, I used to have another channel, blah 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 blah, but then I closed it because of this and this reason. But it's just like, that doesn't really answer any questions that was already asked. Like, why haven't you done what you were supposed to do? I've had people say that, I personally feel like you're not where you're supposed to be at. And my response is, a lot of times people, it's not a rat race. It's not a race to the finish line. The finish line is basically, that's it, you're done. But for me, it's just like, in life, we don't know what we want to do. In all retrospect, we don't know what we want to do. We may have an idea, and like I mentioned, I have cousins who have degrees in other things, but they don't use it. They don't use those degrees that they have. They use it for other stuff, but there's just several of my cousins, like I said, don't really follow what they studied. I use my degree in the kitchen here in my house. I, could easily go back into the kitchen business. I cannot go into like fast food or, like a Denny's or something, because I have experience in high-end restaurants. But the only high-end restaurant that I can think of is further down. So it's more of a drive for me. And the thing is that how long before I get bored? And that was always the one thing that a lot of people pointed out to me. They will always tell me, like, dude, you will start doing something and then you get bored. And I'm like, yeah, because I need a constant change. I need something different every single day. So going back, as I was thinking about this in the car on Sunday, I was just like, and I'm going to repeat myself, content creation. Why can't I just throw my entire all into content creating and just use DoorDash as a small form of income to pay off whatever it is, like pay off like the website that I'm going to use for my writing, pay off, use the money to pay off bills. And if I need help, I just ask for it. My friend, she was telling me like, yo, you can sign up for Patreon, have people sign up, have people subscribe to your channel, subscribe to your channel, subscribe to your Patreon, and they can help you. And I'm like, yeah, and that's always been my issue, is asking for help, asking for support, because I'm the type of person that I do believe in the give and take. I can give you all my support, but if you don't turn that back, that same support for me, and that was something that Baba, Jolie, and Chris both said. You can invest your time into people all you want, and I'm doing this. You can invest your time to people all you want, but if they can't return it back to you, then you're wasting your time. And that was what I was doing when I was working in an office. That's what I was doing when I was trying to please everybody in my life. Instead of pleasing the one person, the only person that is actually really disappointed is myself, because I never satisfied what I wanted, because I was too scared to say anything to anybody about how I actually felt. So I came home, told my friends and my grandmother that I am going to start throwing myself in my videos, in my content, and just be what I want to be. That is a content creator revolving around my YouTube channel and my blog. And I was just watching this one YouTuber, and I just subscribed to him today, that he just mentioned, like, document everything. Sometimes there's people that will be interested in what you have to say. Sometimes there are people that are not going to be interested. But the ones that are going to be interested are going to stay. Those that are not are going to leave. So I'm going to be heavy on my channel. I'm going to be heavy, and I'm working on a website for my writing, because I tried doing it on my Instagram, but the problem is the way I was writing, it's too much. Because I'll give you a great example. This is today's, and I double spaced it so I can make little notes of correction. That's my my copy editing right here. Again, this is like double spaced. These are all the writings I have done so far, and it's long. It doesn't, like, Instagram has a limitation, so I just sat there and I was just like, I have to open up a website. So I'm going to be documenting pretty much everything now. From this point on, I'm going to basically do a get ready with me kind of documentary. All this video itself, you're watching it on YouTube, you're going to see more of this. And yeah, so come with me on this journey of basically working as a content creator and my day-to-day as one.
Goodbye.